The Passionate Leader, because leadership without passion is just a title.
Meeting. We got a collapse in the garage. Get the squad back equipment in here. We got an I-beam gone to a firefighter.
Get that out. Urgent. Transmit a second along.
This is where titles end and leadership begins.
Ask yourself this. What does it take to dedicate over 2 decades to the fire service, rise from junior firefighter to assistant chief, step into leadership under 4 different chiefs, save lives, shape prevention, and still find time to write books that inspire the next generation? That is the story of Greg Patterson. He entered the fire service in May of 2001 as a junior firefighter, driven by nothing more than a 6-year-old's dream to wear the gear and serve his community. By 2009, he earned his place as an officer, and for the next 13 years, he built his reputation as a steady, reliable leader, serving 9 of those years as captain under 4 very different chiefs, learning how to adapt and lead through change. His dedication has not gone unnoticed. In 2018, Greg is awarded the Valor Award for his life-saving actions during a choking emergency, a moment that captured the courage he brings to the job. But he's just as passionate about prevention as he is response. He spent years teaching fire safety to children and adults, work that earned him the prestigious, and help me pronounce this right, Robert E. Kearns Award. Is that correct?
Yes, the Robert E. Kearns.
Perfect. For fire prevention in August of 2025. Beyond the fireground, Greg is an author and educator. His children's book, Ella Learns Fire Prevention, has helped countless families start safety conversations at home, and he's now written a leadership book that is also available on Amazon. With certs ranging from firefighter 1 to special vehicle tech, rescue tech, and a deep commitment to new age leadership, Greg is focused on shaping the firefighters of tomorrow through training, mentorship, and vision. Off duty, you'll find him writing, playing music, building models, running, and cheering on Florida State football. But at his core, Greg Patterson is a firefighter who believes in growth, service, and never sweating the small stuff. Greg, let's rewind back to the beginning. First and foremost, welcome to the Passionate Leader. But let's bring it back to the beginning. In 2001, what was the, let's get you into the fire service and kind of walk us through the young kid's dream and how it became a reality for you.
All right. So I would say I was about 6. Fire whistle started blowing, and every time it would blow, I'd just get that adrenaline, the straight adrenaline. I want to go. I want to see what they're doing. I have like really fond memories of taking the hose from my house and spraying the doghouse with it. And my dad just bitching, like, my water bill.
Awesome.
And he still to this day, like, brings it up. He's like, I never would have thought that you would get where you're at in the fire service. And then kind of like my parents, they drifted apart. So I moved to a different town for a while. Moved back to town of Gallitzin, and I was in school, and one of the guys had a pager on him. It went off, and I'm like, are you a fireman? Like, seriously, you fireman? He's like, yeah. Like, how would you have to be? Because, as a kid, I always thought they were like 21, 22.
Sure, of course.
And,
way older, right?
Yeah. He's like, no, you can start now. So I went down, signed up, and 2 weeks later, it's like, hey, we're having training. And I mean, the rest is history. I started my first chief. He was like the best chief I've ever had. He was fun. He didn't really care what you did, but you had to act your age.
Sure. Yeah.
A lot of things that I learned in leadership was from him. He's a really good leader. He kind of stepped away, but he kept me there. Like, he was like, hey, we're going to go battle the barrel. Oh, okay. And then it came to, we had a really bad accident, and he was the first person he worried about was me, because I was a junior. I didn't know.
Sure. Yep.
He's like, get him the hell out of here, get him in the front of the rig. And you, like, at that age, you didn't think that. You were kind of mad. And you're like, oh, I can't do it. But he was more protective. And then, like I said, the rest is history. Just started taking calls, and the dopamine started rising, and just want more and more. I mean,
It's
I
yeah.
I always get picked on because I always want to call, and everybody else is like, no, no. I was like, no, why? Like, we need a call. We need a call. But, I mean, I'm still happy to be 40 and being able to do it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, do without a doubt.
Yeah.
So captain for 9,
Yeah.
worked underneath 4 chiefs and adapting to different leadership styles. You know, what so far of all of the positions that you've held, you know, in reality, what's your favorite position? I like to ask this question a lot because a lot of guys give different answers and
Captain.
it helps shape perspective. Okay.
Captain.
Right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And why?
You get to play. You're the boundary between the Chiefs and the Fire.
Okay.
You know,
Yep.
like you still have a relationship with them. You get to chill with the guys. You don't have to discipline as much.
Sure.
You know, I don't say that I like the discipline. I'm very stern.
Sure.
There's a way about how you should act and how I feel that you should act.
Yeah.
But I don't have to have the hard conversation of, hey, you're being a screw up. And the captain, you get to play still. I mean, even when I was assistant chief, I was inside more than I was outside.
Yeah.
That was a bad trait for me, though. I realized that. I wasn't getting guys experience. You know, I was doing some of the grunt work where these guys should be doing it and getting experience. I don't know. It's good with the bad, but definitely captain.
Oh, yeah.
I love the red hat. That's what
I agree.
we wear a red hat. So
So I have been deputy for about 2 years now at this point, and I do still think that captain is one of the better ones. You know, like you said, you are the proverbial funnel between, you know, the shit rolling from the top down to the bottom, and you get to still, you know, push policy and be an advocate for the men and the women, and not just, you know, a policy pusher and stuff like that. How long did you serve as the assistant chief?
3 years.
Now, if everything, you know, if you need to in the future, would you, you know, run for it again? So I guess let's, for the viewers that aren't, you know, and the listeners that don't understand how it works, how do officers get, you know, appointed and anointed, I guess is a good way to put it, for, you know, for your fire department?
So for us, it's different all up in all of our county. It's all different. Every department has a different, I would say like bylaw guideline. So for us, you elect the chief and assistant chief. They're voted on. And then your chief and assistant chief, they elect officers. So hey, you're captain 1, you're captain 2, you're lieutenant 1, you're lieutenant 2. A lot of times it's the chief and assistant chief that go and they think who should be there. And then before, so like in the 90s, everybody was voted on, like lieutenant the whole way up. And then they changed that somewhere in the mid 2000s. And I mean, personally, I like it where you can just nominate because your guys are putting people there. I feel if you're nominating, I get both sides of it, I guess. If you're nominating and you're voting, the department basically is getting their ass kissed by the officers. But the opposite way, you're kissing the chief's ass. And I never been like a big fan of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's not a bad thing. I get it. Because if you're chief and you get a bad officer, you know, what are you going to do with that? It's just going to ruin your whole.
Right. So,
I forget.
Yeah. and it's funny because we don't do that a lot up here. So up here, it's typically, you know, again, we walk in, you're appointed your position, and then all of a sudden you're almost essentially can be stuck there.
Yeah.
And I always saw, you know, looking at, you know, when we come down to visit and such, you know, I've always, you know, seen how, I negatively, you know, the connotation I give is, oh, it's a popularity contest. It's January voting time. And I've always thought negatively of it. But what I can say that I have seen from an outsider's perspective is, generally speaking, every firehouse that we drive by down in the central Pennsylvania area, there's always somebody's car in the parking lot, or there's a group of guys at the house that are, you know, doing stuff to get ready for a call, or they're just hanging out. And somehow, you know, I don't know if the two are connected or if it's just, a different lifestyle, between the New England and the central Pennsylvania area. But it's something that I aspire to have here, if that makes sense. And and I don't know what the answer to that is, because obviously, we are in a recruitment and retention funk in the fire service. I think everybody's starting to really kind of fall more along the line of it's a retention problem than it is recruitment. And I don't know what the answer is, but I look at that as the most obvious difference in how a fire department is structured between where you're at and where I'm at. And I can't help but wonder if that's actually, a contributing factor to that. And I don't, just out of curiosity, is it something that, you've ever really paid much attention to or thought of or anything like that?
So you're saying like the retention of the way that we nominate, or are you saying just retention in general?
I'm wondering if it just kind of plays in general to it, with the whole structure of how departments operate in your area.
Yeah.
Versus how they operate in mine, if how your structure is set up where you have, yearly changes. Because at first I'm like, oh man, it's a popularity contest at face value. Yeah. That's how I for a while have felt. But I've also seen it where we have, in our agency have had some horrible officers in some places where essentially they're lifers. And until they die in the job or they retire, you're stuck with them. Whereas again, down where you're at, if people really suck, you got to prove your worth. Yeah. Over the course of the year or however long a term is down there.
So I would say, if I'm answering it correctly, because I don't know if I'm getting
There's no way to answer it wrong, dude.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's no dumb answers. There's just dumb questions.
Yeah, buddy. Amen, yeah.
So I don't feel like our department's a popularity contest. And I don't think it's really big this way. I mean, if you're a shitty chief, you will get pushed out. I've seen it. If you're treating people wrong and you're not a leader, you're not going to be there long. We do lose people that way, though. If you have a really bad leader, you don't want to stay there. You don't want to hear the crap. A lot of times you notice whenever there's a bad leader, you do see guys drift apart, and we all have different opinions. Everybody has a different opinion. The way you want to be,
of course,
the way you want to be led is always different too. I mean, I don't like getting screamed at, but I want it to be fair and to the point. I don't want cradled either. Oh, you're doing okay.
Yeah.
So I think that it's more I've been really looking into cultures because I didn't know what the hell. I think a lot of our retention is whenever we have a good culture. Everybody's accepted. Everybody's held accountable to the same standard. I feel that if you are having a really good culture, we can keep people in our area. If there's a change of leadership because of the buddy system, sometimes that does drift out. But you see cars sitting in front of places, the fire departments, a lot of times they're just the young kids that want to fire and they want to run first due.
Fair. Sure. Yeah. Those assholes, they're trying to call creep, right?
Yeah. And I did it. I mean, whenever I was younger, I was probably 22. I got laid off. So the oil industry went up and I was building tires. So I got laid off. I sat at the fire hall. I was a paid fireman for a year and a half, Yeah. And that's awesome. I took my first responder then. And there was like 3 or 4 of us. We'd just sit there and, we'd get excited. The pager was going off. Let's go. Right. I mean, we still get the same excitement. Now we just have to leave our families. And then we just.
Yes. Right.
But no, in all honesty, I mean, that's the age old question. How do we keep people? I know there's been times in my career that I didn't want to do anything at the fire hall, and it was too bad leadership or getting treated like shit. And them people aren't there anymore. You push them.
Yep.
And I always tell guys, one of my best friends left our department, and I told him, you leaving our department is not going to make any change. You voting December 1st will make the change. And it's not, you can call it politicking, but it wasn't politicking. You piss 3 guys off and they leave. There's 3 votes that could be good for change. and they
Right.
have the same mindset of you. And I've been there. There's been days that I'm like, man, I'm going to go somewhere else.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah.
and it's nothing to do with like being mad at certain instances, but I'm
Mm.
pissed at the moment. And I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. It feels good. It feels good at the moment right then and there.
Yeah, and I don't want to be the guy that snaps. When I was in my 20s, I would snap at every little thing. And I
Yeah.
snap, you lose the room. And I'm not going to sit there and lose the room. But, I mean, I don't know. Everybody has an opinion on who's a good leader and who isn't a good leader.
Mm-hmm.
If they're doing the right thing and they're keeping the people in front of them instead of them worrying about themselves, that's a good leader. I don't care if you're mean, if you're rotten. I don't know. Good leadership's going to get good retention, man. I'll follow anybody that's a good leader.
Goddamn
And,
right.
yeah.
Yep.
And you can spot them. You know them.
And you kind of hit it a little bit because everybody has that moment where you're burned out. You've worked extra overtime and you're like, all right, so Wednesday night, I'll be able to be home with the kids and we can have dinner as a family, and the damn horn goes off.
Oh yeah.
And while it's fun at the time, you're like, I just lost another dinner with the family, and you do not get them back.
Yeah.
And it's by no means me trying to make us, a poor us or a poor and negative in the fire service. That's just the nature of the fire service. It's going to take more from us than we'll ever be able to give back to it.
Yep.
But what happens sometimes is when we are in that moment, somebody will say something and you're like, you know what? I don't need this BS. I have enough stress from work and the wife and the kids and trying to get sports and, the lawn and just stuff around the house. I don't need this. I'm going to walk out. And I can tell you many times and this is kind of where it was nice, being either a lieutenant or a captain for myself, guys would be like, I think I'm done. I'm going to walk away. And I'd be like, listen, just do me a solid. Give it a week, give it a little bit, take some time. Don't go to the calls. You don't even need to tell me that, because we have, for our agency, we have a formal, leave of absence procedure that you can do if you want a long term. But I'm like, dude, just take a week. It's not going to kill your stats if you, miss a meeting or some calls. Just take a week, shut the pager off, spend time with mama and the kids, and tell me how you feel a little bit later. And, and it'll be less than 12 hours later. Like, yeah, you're right. I don't want to quit. I really love what I do. I love helping the town. I love going to calls. I love it. It's just a matter of, this person said something and my ass was chapped because, the boss gave me a ream at work too. So, and like you said, if people leave, one, it doesn't show the poor and the awful leaders that, that they're mad about anything other than, well, good. If I'm mean to that person, I can get rid of these, the change votes. And as awful as it sounds, there is a lot of politics in the fire service, whether officers are voted in and nominated, or if it is appointed through the fire chief. It's all political. It really, really is. It's the unfortunate reality of the fire service.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head as far as the, if you leave, there goes your voice,
Yep.
so don't leave and let that, essentially don't let them win. Right. Just stick it out, remember the why you're here. That's the reason. I mean, if I've always looked at it from if one, rash of bad calls or somebody saying something that hurt your feelings was enough to get you to want to quit, were you really here for the right reason? And that's usually what I've had to do it a few times to some guys, like if that's really going to be what gets you to quit, are you really here for the right reasons? And it's sort of, it's a horrible way to do it, but it's sort of like the, a shaming way of getting them to stay. Be like, I thought you were a bigger man than that type thing.
You're 100% right. Like a lot of times I don't think we think of why we're here,
No,
right. We get to do cool things, like in all honesty. If I wasn't in the fire service, I wouldn't be on a podcast. I wouldn't have wrote a book.
Exactly.
I was on a radio last year. That was a cool experience being on radio stations. We were on like 7
I can imagine. Yeah.
We get to do cool things. We see bad things. We have bad days.
Right.
But the customers, the civilians, the townspeople, we're putting a business out there. They're the customer. we're here to protect. Yeah, we get to do cool things, but the right thing we're doing is protecting them, helping them any way possible. If it's a flooded basement or their cat's stuck in a tree. And we forget that sometimes, especially officers.
Yes.
They think that like, hey, it's me. It's me. No, it's not you. It's them, Yeah. I've been there. There's been days where I was like, it's all about me. I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, no, we're in the wrong, it's the wrong business for me,
Yes. Yeah, no, for sure. We know, I believe it was a Sunday night on our live. I can't paraphrase. I'm going to paraphrase it, so I'm not going to give the proper credit to who said it, but because I am not a huge advocate of acronyms. Oddly enough, with the dude with a 2-letter first name, I don't really do a whole lot with acronyms because I just, it's catchy and it makes it, makes us try to sound trendy. And I'm like, how about we get back down to the nitty gritty of we swing axes at windows and we crawl in them and we pull people out. That's the fire service. We don't need these fancy catchphrases and these slogans and stuff.
Yeah.
And this guy, he used, so it's SME, subject matter expert. Everybody's heard that one, but the one that he used was an SPE, a self-proclaimed expert. And I was like, oh man, it tickled so nice. It tickled because I'm like, man, it's so true. There's so many self-proclaimed experts out there. And it's like, dude, read a book, go spend a little bit of time in the front seat of a truck. I mean, how many times have you seen where, it's mostly rhetorical, where guys will be like, you shouldn't do it that way. And it's like, have you ever once had a bugle on your chest, the responsibility of making sure that the crew that came on that engine when we came up over the hill to go to the fire is going home to their families? Yeah. If you haven't, don't tell me how to do my job. And it's the same way as chiefs. I have had very humbling experiences. When I was a lieutenant, I was like, oh, our chief is doing it so bad. He should be doing this, this, and this. And after a while, I'm like, oh, that's why he does it that way.
It's the weird thing about the fire service that I've noticed recently, because I'm like in the middle gap. I mean, I'm 40 years old. So I'm in the middle gap.
Same, brother. I turned 41 on Saturday, so I get you.
Yeah, we're old. So
we're old, but we're also the fucking young guys. So what are we supposed to do with this?
Yeah. But it's the way they're taught. So I mean, like, I always use this 30 different ways to skin a cat. If you're skinning a cat, you might do it one way, I might do it another way.
Sure, exactly.
They're getting taught how to wrap hydrants. So listen, if any of my terms are different than yours, let me know, because I watched your live and there was something these guys were talking about. And I was like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I think it was spotters. Like, do you know?
For backing rigs up. Yep.
Yeah. What do you call them?
Spotters. You're right. Yeah. We use spotters for, like your backup spotter. So if we're backing a rig into the bay or up on a scene, they're there to spot you so that you don't back into something.
So we use that term, but you guys use the different term.
Oh, so that's what maybe there's something that there could be. We get some weird terms.
Yeah. There was a guy from Ohio. I think a guy from Ohio used a different term, and I think he was against spotters. I don't know. I was half asleep. Yeah. It was on the live, Sunday live, like three or 4.
I may have to go back and watch to see if I have the recording of it or if it saved it for me. I'll have to go, because I remember you saying, like, I don't know what the hell this means, and I'm like, man, sometimes it just, you got to fly with it, because I don't know sometimes.
I didn't know if like our terms are a little different, but anyway. So we had a guy that was a pass instructor, state instructor. He's in his 70s. There was me, and then we had a younger member. All three of us wrapped the hydrant differently, and I was taught not to wrap the hydrant. I was taught to roll it out, look in the mirror, tell them to go, get your ass down the street, and just ride the wave. Like, that's how we were taught.
Sweet Jesus Christ!
And there must have been somebody that wrapped the hydrant. It came back, kicked them, hurt them, so they kind of stopped doing it for a while.
Oh yeah.
And I said, listen, if you get the job done, I don't care, because I don't know what the newest trend is.
Yeah, no, of course. Right.
And I never wanted to correct people when I got older. When I didn't know what I was doing, I corrected the hell out of people. And I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah, you're just making it sound official.
Yes. Well, I was a lieutenant. So like your first year as an officer, you got to know everything. You know, that's just like in the handbook. You got to know everything.
Oh, yeah.
You got to prove everybody wrong. And yeah, nowadays I'm just like, okay, how do you know how to do it? How did he know how to do it? And how did I know? How to do it?
Right.
And that's the horrible part about the fire service. We change shit, you know,
Every day. Yeah, it changes every day, but it also seems to stay the same for some. I don't know how we're able. We're like fucking magicians.
Yeah, but they don't do the cool shit. Like we're not riding in open cabs anymore. Bring that back. We're riding snowboards.
For real.
Or, you know, like do something cool. You know, give us something.
Oh my
really
God!
cool.
Right.
Make fire trucks affordable again or something. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, dude, for real.
So are Yin's guys like you busy? Yin's guys super busy? You get a shit ton of calls or?
So this year we've been a little bit more busy than normal. So typically speaking, we'll get about 270 calls a year. So we're not as busy as some peer towns that are similar to us, but it goes in waves. We can have one year where we'll drop 100 calls, off our average.
Yeah.
And it's just there's no real rhyme or reason. Mother Nature plays a big part into it too, whether it be a good solid snowstorm that kind of catches us off guard, or the way we are geographically positioned, there's Mount Monadnock, which is a few towns to our west. And as long as the weather moves the way it usually does, in the west to east fashion, the mountain breaks it up. And then by the time it gets to us, whatever, supercell is coming our way has sort of been beaten down, and it's just a breeze and, heavy rain for our town.
Yeah.
But if it comes from either the north or the south, it's sneak attacks. And then all of a sudden there's nothing to break it up. So then we get absolutely walloped, and then we get your stupid, trees and wires and, trees in the houses, stuff like that kind of calls. So that's usually when we see more and more, major calls. But yeah, generally speaking, we're about 275 to just about 300 every year on the average.
Yeah,
and that's all fire too. So I'm pretty happy about that.
You don't run any EMS.
The only EMS that we run is if both buses are out on medical calls or if it's a working code. That's it.
Yeah. That's basically what we do. We run Z calls, which is chokings, cardiac arrest.
Gotcha.
Something. Yeah. And then EMS is real sparse right now. So we have sometimes the farthest EMS is going to be 45 minutes out. We go to them.
Holy Christ.
Yeah. There's an issue there, and I'm too vested to not care, but everybody around us is running quick response service, which is just AED, suction, med bag. We'll stop your bleeding, give you a boo-boo, or do CPR.
But we're going to hold it together till they get here.
And we like it. Like it gets our call volumes up a little bit, and we can pre-plan while we're there. We can look in houses, what we're doing.
Yep.
And we get a good personal face-to-face. If it get a good rapport, that might give us more money. So, we're fully funded by fundraising. So, we got to get that money to get nice rigs and shiny new equipment and NFPA standards of this gear needs replaced in 10 years.
Dude, for real. Yeah, yes. That's insane. That is how many citizens do you guys have in the first two districts?
About 3,000. We're in the 3,000 range.
Is that how many are jammed on the side of the hill? So I'll be very honest. The only real part of Gallitzin that I've ever even experienced would be between the firehouse and Heather's place. And then, oh my God, what is, you guys had your thing at a rod and gun club. So I've been that part of the township. And then as far the other side as the I Club, the I Club. Yeah, that's the one, dude. That is my knowledge of Gallitzin. That's about it. So
it's residential. Literally we got 10, 15 businesses in town. Everybody has a Dollar General. So we have a Dollar General.
Yes.
We had a drive-through Dollar General one night. Somebody went forward instead of backwards and went through it.
No freaking way, dude.
That was a good one.
Oh, Jesus.
But, we have more bars than we have churches now. And that's down. We don't really get a lot of business just because where we're at. That could change, that could change with a heartbeat.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But we run our first due. We run mutual aid, so we're an engine company. We have E1 engine, and then we have an engine rescue Suffin, and we run rescue the whole way out towards Asheville for Frugality as the second rescue, as with assistance with Asheville. That's their coverage area, and then we go to Crescent for like our engine. Our engine is their second engine, really. And then parts of Loretto, which is out by the college, and then we've been going to Blair a good bit. So Blair, Altoona City is in the different townships. So every 4 miles, there's a new department. But Lakemont, if they get something big, we go down there and run standby. And we usually get interesting stuff when we're down there.
Apparently. Yeah, that's awesome.
We went – it was a new experience for me. So last month or the month before, they just got back from a fire. And we're just chilling out. And they're like, hey, guys, you got to run. We're like, what is it? Working structure fire, Denny's. Like Denny's, Grand Slam Denny's,
Right.
So we don't do truck work in Glitzen. We roll in, engine, our chief goes in. He's walking in, mind blown because there's smoke banked. People are still sitting there eating. Just chowing down, eating.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude! I love it.
So Jimmy's sitting there, and I'm like yelling for him because like communication's a little like messed up. I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "I don't know." He's like, "We got smoke, and I think it's here." And he goes, like us both looking. Did you see the people out there eating?
Walking by because it's another day for them.
Yeah, they were just like, okay. It was a belt that burned up. Jimmy knew what it was. And then
oh my God.
He's like, you're going to the roof. I'm like, okay, new atmosphere. Let's do that. I went up with one of the guys, and it was a cool experience. Whenever you get to experience something new in the fire service, and you get that adrenaline, that dopamine hit. It's but they have, their majority of their coverage area is business. So like I was like, dude, what do you do here? What is this? What is that? I was like a kid in a candy store.
That's so right. It's like revitalizing, right?
Yeah. But in majority we have is residential. We get our smells and bells. I'd say our last 5 calls are either EMS, traffic collisions. We get a lot of accidents. It snows pretty good here.
It does.
Not like what Yin's guys probably get, but we cover a lot of weird roads, so we get some interesting action. We had a Dodge pickup go through a concrete building through it.
Okay.
And they were standing out like, hey, how are Yin's guys? How are Yin's guys not dead? But
holy crap.
I have to send you pictures of that later. You'd be surprised that they walk away.
Oh man.
But we get some interesting ones, but the majority of ours is engine, we're engine work. We've always been.
You guys have these stupid, weird, and it's the top of, is it Sugar Run?
Okay.
So you can, if you're making a right-hand turn at the top coming up toward Church Street, you just keep driving. You don't have to stop at the T intersection. Well, I'll tell you, in the rest of the world, you have to stop at those intersections. So I will tell you very honestly, the first time that I was in the area and Shawnee just kept flying through, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And she goes, what do you mean? And I go, there's a fucking stop sign. She goes, did you not read the words below it where it says accept right turn? I'm like, are you kidding me? Like,
can you believe it? We don't have accidents there.
Jesus, dude,
we might have one every 5 years.
God damn. It's like, it's not even a swooping right-hand turn. It is a sharp T intersection.
Yeah, turn right here.
Yeah, and it's like, what? You keep going? Okay, whatever.
Let's go that way.
Like,
you're not far, though. The graveyard's right there. So, like, it'd be a quick transport if you would.
Dude, for real. Just dig the hole.
Yes.
What do you want? The ambulance? No, just get a backhoe.
Yeah, confirm and tag it. I don't care.
Yeah, like, well, what do you need for resources? An ambulance? Nope, just a backhoe. We're going to be good here. No, that's awesome. Oh, my gosh.
No, and honestly though, like we don't have we run about half of what Ian's guys run, so we're not running, but we run a good bit of like really interesting calls.
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
if I get the time, I'd love to write down all the interesting calls I had, and then
Yeah,
just
dude.
talk to people in the county of interesting calls because I feel that we have weird ones compared to people. I don't know
Yeah.
if the air is thinner or the drugs are better or what.
It's just something.
Yeah, it's
It's whatever happens on the hill, man. Holy freaking crap. It's insane. I remember one year we were down there and I was like, oh, we're gonna get up early, we're gonna leave as the snow is coming. I don't feel like getting stuck in a snowstorm. Then I
yeah,
wake up at like 6 o'clock. I peek out the bathroom window. I'm like, yeah, it's not snowing. We got a little bit more. And I fell asleep for 20 freaking minutes.
mhm.
I go up and I take another, to go pee again. And I'm like, there's 4 inches on the ground. It's time for we needed to leave the first time I woke up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, then you leave and you get into like Altoona and there's nothing. It's like, what the hell is going on up here? Holy Christ.
As soon as you get off the mountain, there's nothing.
Oh, it's insane. Yeah.
We recently just got in the brush fire industry, so
Okay.
like we got a side by side. There's a bunch of guys going to be taking classes to do that.
Yeah.
It's like a very hit or miss thing for us, but
Yep.
I think we're going to kind of try to take it full force. The way that
Well, with the trains, do you guys? I mean, there are a lot of brush fires from like the trains
Yes.
shooting sparks and stuff. Yeah.
so
I
the
was gonna say
slope
there's got to be quite a bit.
the slope going off of the tunnels
Yeah.
is a steep. It's like one of the steepest slopes. So they're always jamming the brakes, killing it. And we've been there. I think we were on Sugar Run last week, and 2 weeks ago they were on Horseshoe. So
Oh, geez.
yeah, my sorry, my daughter's doing homework beside me, and the
Oh no, you're fine.
shaking.
No, hey, dude, it's no big deal at all. I love it. So let's dive into the books for a little bit. So, Ella was your first book, right?
yeah.
What made you want to write a book and everything that goes along with it? And I'll have you know that our library up here actually has it
Oh yeah,
in their repertoire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
she's so my do you know Dauber? Christopher
Yes.
Cox passed away.
Yep.
Whenever he passed away, I needed an outlet. I mean, I didn't really.
Sure.
I don't drink often. I mean, I drink,
Yeah.
but I don't drink often. I didn't want to go down that path, so I just started thinking. I like writing. I'm very creative. My brain's always all over the place. And I got a Dalmatian then, and I was like, you know what? I like fire prevention. I know it. I can write a children's book. So I started writing. I wrote that. Got it published. I wanted to start drawing, and I can't draw crap. I mean, honestly.
Sure.
So I just said to hell with it. We're just going to publish it the way it is. Made it big writing for the old fireman that wants to read to his grandson, or
Yep.
the blind 40-year-old that can't see what's going on.
Large font, please.
Yeah, and I mean, it took off. I did a lot of daycares. I went to daycares. We had a book signing over at the library. There's like teachers from high school coming to me. Oh my God, I'm so proud of you. Yeah, you failed me in English in like ninth grade.
For real, thanks, asshole.
Yeah, but I mean, it was just like an outlet for me. His wife actually, like, she looked over it. She edited it. She made sure that I'm not that smart. Honestly, I'm not. I just, she looked it over. She's like, hey, you need to put this here. You need a period here. This needs to be capitalized. I'm like, all right, sorry. And
Fine.
yeah, I was like, okay, I guess. And then whenever we published it, it took off. I mean, I haven't sold millions. I'm not making millions on it. I sold
Of
enough
course.
that it covered costs for me to get it printed. And then I just started writing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. Do you know who Jocko Willink is?
I do. Yes.
Right.
Yep.
So the first book I ever wrote or read was Extreme Ownership. Extreme Ownership. Sorry, I can't talk. And ever since then, I just been on like a kick of I want to learn more. I want to learn how he was a leader. I actually gave Heather a copy of his strategies and tactics. And I told her, I was like, hey, I got a copy for you. Read it. It is
Yep.
going to make you a better leader. Just read it cover to
Yeah.
cover.
I love it, dude.
And she was president at the time. I said, it's the
Yep.
best
Yep.
one I've read. And I started getting into his podcast like hardcore. I'd wake up. As soon as I woke up off a night shift, I'd listen to his podcast. And the one time he's like, write your book. Write your book. I'm like, this bastard talking to me? Like,
Yeah. Right. Right.
is he talking to me? And I just started typing. And I went through like all the calls that really dug deep into my head.
Yeah.
The first call that I ever officered, it was a fatal. That shaped me.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Go figure,
it was.
right?
Yeah, it was actually one of our firemen's kids, so
Oh, my
that was
God.
even worse.
Yep.
It shaped me into the way that I wanted to be a leader. It shaped me drastically, so I started with that, and then just some of like the memorable calls. You know, I don't want to forget them, and I
Yeah.
don't want to remember some of them, but I wanted to write them down.
Yeah, of course.
And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a leadership book. You know, I've been an officer for so long. I feel like I have a decent following. You know, some of the old heads think I'm kind of different. You know what I mean? Like just in my
Sure.
leadership capabilities. The way that I lead is a little different. And I mean, right now, I think I have 3 books that are like just started. I have one that's almost
awesome.
done. It's a good mechanism to get.
Yeah. Everybody needs an outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't care if I sell 1 book. I don't care if I sell 5 million of them.
Yeah.
As long as I'm getting the word to the right people.
Yes.
And they take like some things that I do might not be right. They take the right things and maybe learn from it.
Yeah.
And that's I had compliments, and I've had people say like, hey, you should have added this. And I took the compliments as like, hey, maybe I'm doing something right. And hey, you should have did this. Well, the next time I do it, I'm going to do it that way.
Right.
And it's just I mean, honestly, I barely made it through high school. So like it's just something that worked. And
yeah,
I enjoy it. It's honestly, before me and you signed on, I was going to write a little bit because me and my mom were talking, and I thought of something, and I'm like, that's all right. I'll remember it. So I just put a little mental note in my.
I was gonna say, you better hope you dropped it down or jotted it somewhere, because if not, it's gone.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get into the computer and I just start going, and 3 hours have gone by, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I got something.
Good
and
for you.
Then I delete it. It's like, I didn't like that.
I was in a different headspace for that one, so that does not match the.
Yeah, I don't want to put things down. I think there's a lot of like false narratives. I overthink a lot of things whenever anything's going on.
Sure.
I don't want to put something into a book and somebody think that I was directing it towards them or
fair. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a lot of the calls, I don't want to put like extreme details into it. Some of them, it might hit home to some people. So a lot of times, like I'll type something up and I'm like, oh man, this might be directed towards somebody. I might want to delete that. Because I know a lot of the guys in our department that don't read the book. And I don't ever want to try to like make anybody feel that, I'm learning a lesson from something they did wrong.
Yeah, no, exactly.
We do that. That's how we learn how to be.
And truthfully, man, what I would say is if it's more on them to have that level of humility to be like, man, I messed up, but Greg learned from that.
Yeah.
And it's huge, and I think having the outlet, it's a good outlet. It's way better to have an outlet of sitting and plugging away at a keyboard than it is to sit and try to search for the bottom of the bottle. And then one is going to be more proactive and beneficial for the fire service as a whole, and the other one's not. It's going to lead more toward a eulogy than it is, something more in depth. And really, honestly, man, the way I look at it with the books, and you danced all over it. One of the beliefs that I have with this platform is if I feel somebody has a really good story to tell, there's somebody who I've been pushing hard. I'm like, dude, I want to get you on the show. He's a good friend I work with at the DPW up in Milford. It's a town north of us. And he's like, I don't think I have anything to give. And I'm like, dude, if 45 people listen to our episode and only one gets something good out of it, then you did your job. And it's the same way with your books, man. If you know, all the people that buy it, if somebody just takes 3 sentences from the entire book and it changes their trajectory of their career and their time in the service, or it might help them in their time of need, you know, and it's huge. And I give it all the props in the world as far as throwing books together. I have, like you, I have a bunch that are in the queue. I have none of them are anywhere near close. And I have one that's better than half. And it really, it helped me as my outlet for because I put in for a ton of fire chiefs jobs back in, you know, early 2020 time. And I have, you know, the old phrase, always a bridesmaid, never a bride. I think on 7 attempts, 6 of them, I was candidate 2. And on 1 of them, I was candidate 1.
Oh,
and it's like, after a while, like, man, what the hell am I not doing right? Yeah. And honestly, dude, eventually it really boiled down to, it wasn't, I changed my thought process to what am I, it's not, what am I not doing? You know, more of a, not a, what am I doing wrong, to a, why did I not get that? What, and I'm not religious by any stretch of the imagination, but I do believe everything happens for a reason. Yes. And I'll tell you, man, every single one of those opportunities that I thought I missed was actually a dodged bullet. Yeah. The first one I ever went to was a full-time fire chief's job in the next town over. It was me or some schmuck from Georgia. And the guy from Georgia got it because he had more credentials, he had more experience. And truthfully speaking, I probably went in a little more cocky than I should have, because I'm like, oh, this dude from Georgia's got nothing on me. These guys know me, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But I'll tell you, what I gained out of that was the knowledge of he's no longer their chief, because they just weren't proactive enough when he went to the town council and, the select board or whatever. And he's like, yeah, we need to do this, this, and this because your fire trucks are 65 years old, like really old, like, I'm throwing numbers out there, but they didn't have the ability to take what he said as far as we need to move forward in this direction. They didn't have the ability to grasp that concept type thing. And truthfully, honestly, man, him and I have become such amazing friends. I call him Peaches now, but he's the guy from Georgia. He's a really good friend.
The guy from Georgia?
Yeah.
No shit. That's cool.
Yeah, dude. Him and I, in fact, actually, him and I are going out. So I'm not sure if Heather's talked much about, this conference that we're putting together here in the state. Him and his wife are helping the group of us actually organize the damn thing. Tony's a really, really good man. He's a good friend. Even when he, was the chief, and all it really took, it's funny because he called one day because I do fire code enforcement, and he knew for a fact it wasn't his strength, and I was really the only phone a friend in the area. And he goes, during one conversation, he goes, I really want to thank you. He goes, because you could have never answered my phone call, and I never would have had a leg to stand on because of how, we came into each other's, we crossed paths. And I'm like, what is being an asshole to you do anything to make me feel better about how it went out? It's nothing that he did. Yeah. I can't control the fact that he was better positioned, having his degrees and having previously been a fire chief before that. Those were the facts that I didn't know going into it. I'm just thinking some ass from Georgia is trying to become a firefighter up in, in New Hampshire. Yeah. But little did I know, man, he knows municipal law, and now he's actually our field training captain for the State Fire Academy. So I mean, he's very passionate about stuff like that, and he's a really, really good friend. And like I said, this Sunday, him and I are probably going to go out to the race, because we like to go to the racetrack. So we'll probably go out together because we're friends now. So that's cool. It turns out that way. And even in my current department, I was one of the finalists, but I wasn't chosen for the position. And I'm very fortunate and thankful that I wasn't, because there's just certain things that I'm learning more and more that as I'm getting older in my career, I'm getting a filter, but I don't do bureaucracy very well.
Yeah.
And as a deputy, I'm about peaked to where I really ever want to be, because I don't like kissing ass to try to get things done. I really, really don't. And it's because at a certain level, you almost have to lie to yourself and sell yourself, your soul to the devil.
Yeah.
To get what you need. And I'm like, I'm all for getting the members what they need, but at what point do you have to completely drop every ounce of shred of integrity in order to get it done? And I don't know. That's just how so again, all these opportunities, man, I'm like, they really weren't opportunities. They were dodge bullets, because I know for a fact I would have quit by now, and I'd be probably back to shoveling dirt. So I'm very fortunate. And the chief that we picked is very competent in what she does. So I have full confidence. And her and I have worked, we've been essentially come through the department together at she was there a little bit longer than I was, but she's a couple of years older than me. So she has a little bit more time within our department. But you know what? I mean, we've come up together through the rank and file. So we are able to form, a pretty good two-headed monster. So
that's something you see a lot more of, is the female fire chiefs.
Yes. Yeah.
My buddy Mikey's in Anne Arundel, and their chief's a female. And honestly, I think it's actually cool because they play the
she's
mother
badass.
Yeah, like they play the mother figure. They can be a little stern, and then they can also have some empathy as well.
Yes. Yeah. No, I would agree. Yep.
That's a good look. I like it. Especially like if you do have a bad day, I'd much rather talk to a female about having a bad day than some grumpy 80-year-old fire.
Yeah.
You just suck it up, kid.
Yeah. You're being a little bitch, knock it off.
Yeah.
Which don't get me wrong, Meg might say that to me too, but like I said, her and I have worked together for so long that, we know each other's. I mean, God, the other day, somebody walked up where my office is. There's the ramp that walks. It's right up next to my office window. And somebody walks up the ramp, and she was in my office. We were just talking shop, and I look over her and I go, "Was that?" And she didn't. I couldn't even finish what I needed to say, and she's like, "Yep," because it was it was somebody we had talked about earlier in the day, and it was just very coincidental that we had been talking about this person, and all of a sudden they're walking up the ramp to the top of the firehouse where town hall is currently positioned. And I'm like, is that, and I couldn't even say so-and-so or who's he, what's it was immediate. Yep. And I'm like, God damn. So, I mean, we have a good thing. We really have a good thing going, and she cares very deeply for our community, and she's doing a really, really good job with stepping. And she went from captain on the volunteer side to full-time fire chief. So that is a huge jump for anybody to make.
Yes.
So, and she's taken it, very, very well and done really good things. And it's great. So, I mean, no complaints from me at all.
Yeah.
Is that a structure fire? Is it
town?
No,
EMS. Town? Yeah. Jogtown. EMS.
Jogtown for the boo-boo bus.
I want to make sure that it's, I'm not going to put any addresses.
I can hear the horn, but or the siren, but I can't hear what you have.
I have it on. So I got the diabetes, so I got to keep my heart in check. I got I got a soft alarm, so she talks to me and tells me what we have.
Oh, dude, there's nothing wrong with that, dude. Yeah. That's awesome.
Station 71, and she has like a real sweet voice. She's like, Station 71. Chest pains, and then she tells you everything. So I was making sure, I didn't want to break HIPAA there,
Oh yeah, dude, no worries.
Yeah, no, I'm not an EMS provider. I'm a driver, so we're good.
Dude, I covered the chief and I were the two full-time staff during the day. We're bankers hours, dude. Monday through Friday, 8 to 4.
Nice.
And when both ambulances are out, because our ambulance service is separate from the fire side. When they're both out, I'm like, oh man, I hope that tone doesn't drop, because that generally means that I'm gonna end up being the care provider until outside agency shows up, and I'm like, son of a bitch. I don't like doing it. It's not my forte. I had to call the ambulance for me the other day. Well, Shawnee did, because I had a fucking kidney stone, dude. I don't know if you've ever had one, dude. Worst pain of my life ever.
Yeah, I've I've had kidney stones. They are not fun.
It was bad enough when I was like 3:00 in the morning. I'm like shaking. I'm in so much pain. And I'm like, we need to go to the ER. And then she goes, I'm going to ask because I have to, but the ambulance. And I was like, yeah, call them. And it was the immediate, like I didn't even cough. And she's like, so of course she immediately goes to like, worst case scenario, she's going to be a widow. And I'm like, it's a kid. I didn't know what it was at the time, but I'm like, I don't know what it is, but it hurts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're going to be fine. But no, dude, that's awesome. One thing I want to do, when we were talking about Ella in your first book, I know who Dauber is, but I feel, at least knowing what I know of him, a lot of the viewers and listeners don't. So unless it's too hard and it's a little tough to go through, I think he deserves a little bit of a shout out.
Oh yeah.
Posthumously, if you don't mind kind of running the viewers and listeners through who Dauber was.
Yeah. So Christopher Cox, we called him Dauber because he looked like Dauber off of Coach. He was a mountain of a man. He was a good friend to a lot of guys in the fire service. He was our fire chief at the time. He passed away with cancer 3 years ago. They've been flying by. He had kidney cancer, and then it started spreading from what I remember. And Dauber's, he was my captain for majority of the time. He was my vent for a tenure or two. He was the assistant chief when I was captain for a while, and then we became like really good friends. We battled. I don't know if these guys do Battle of the Barrel.
No, so that's another question. I'm wondering if it might help with the retention down there, because it's fun. So we do firemen's musters, which are kind of similar to Battle of the Barrel or the convention and stuff like that. Yeah.
But me and him were like battle buddies. So we'd always go to battles. He introduced me and my wife. We were at a fireman's section. My wife was a fireman. She was a hookie. Which is a department. They're hookies, hook and ladder.
I was going to say that. We need to clarify that one for the audience.
Yeah. So that's where we want to. I want to settle down there. Really good department, good dudes. They get good work. They don't have to fundraise as much as we do. I know that's crappy to say, but
it's a big thing. Yeah. No, for sure.
But anyway, Dauber introduced me to my wife, and he was a good dude. He passed away with cancer, but he was on the pile at Flight 93. So whenever September 11th came around, Dauber was a 911 dispatcher, and he was on the county hazmat team. And the guys in the yellow suits that you see on Flight 93, he was one of them. Probably the real big one, because he was 6'6", big dude.
Legs sticking out the bottom, arms out the sides.
Yeah. He was a great guy. He was. It was sad to see him go, just because he was really starting to like try to get his health right. Suppression instructor, probably like one of the greatest guys to have as your friend. And like, we're still feeling it. Everybody that's ever met him, like his name comes up all the time. But he took over. He was doing fire prevention, and I felt that I just wanted to keep following in his footsteps with that. Just because he was very passionate about fire prevention. He'd always like, hey, we're going to the daycare. And I was like 21, 22. I'm like, fire prevention, what is that?
Yeah, it's for sure.
And I seen what he was doing, and he wasn't doing it for the wrong reasons either. He was there for kids, and he wanted to see how much it grew, and then our department really, it was a big hole. He was secretary or treasurer for a while, and he was the chief whenever he passed away. That was undoubtedly the hardest thing I've ever did. Just losing a friend like that. I've lost a lot of friends, but it was a big hole in our department, and it was just really hard. I still have like some anger towards it, and
Naturally, yeah, no, of course.
I always think like, what would Dauber do like in this situation?
Mm.
Everybody has a story, and like it always his name's brought up all the time. But yeah, he was one of the good ones, you know. He did
No,
it
for
for the right
sure.
reason.
And
And
that's it was important that we, like I said, pay homage to him, because I knew I don't think I ever really met him previous to getting sick, but
yeah,
every once in a while you'll meet that person in the fire service who is, in his case, he was larger than life,
oh
but
yeah, yeah.
that leaves just a void in the fire service. And in those, fireman's fireman is probably the best way to explain these kind of guys and girls that do it. So
Can I tell you a story? This is really good story.
abso-freaking-lutely you can, dude.
So, Central District's Firemen's Convention. You know how this is. They're a little crazy, right?
Sure, yeah.
So we hosted it in our town, and Dauber was the president of the association, so he was like the grand poobah for that week.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
That Saturday night into Sunday, me and him were like going around, and like we worked all weekend. So at 10 o'clock, we started partying because, we were working. It's a fundraiser too. We get some good money. Me and him start drinking, have a good time. Heather, Eric's there. They're with us. There's pictures. I don't know where they're at, but Heather has them. We get into somebody's brownies. The local department had brownies, and we're like, hey, brownies, I like sweets. Let's go. The last thing I remember is 6 a.m. All we see is sun, and all I said is, my wife's going to fucking kill me.
I love it, dude.
That's the exact words. There are pictures of us in the porta-johns. In the porta-johns. Me and Dauber. Dauber's 6'6", I'm 6'4". There is 600 pounds between the two of us. We're in shitters. But that's probably like one of my favorite nights, just because we don't remember it. But it was just like true. It was true friendship. There was no egos. There was no.
Yeah, dude. It was when. Yep.
And like Heather just like started hanging out with us. So
okay. Yep.
Eric was, I don't know if he was a lieutenant at the time or he was just a fireman. Not saying just a fireman. He was a fireman.
Sure. Yeah.
But he was an officer. And I don't know where he was at in that spectrum, but Heather just joined like hanging out with us. And yeah, that was an eventful night. We were putting Oreos on people that were sleeping, so they had a treat when they woke up.
Well, because you need something when you wake up, right? Like everybody.
We were being very kind.
We were kindly belligerent.
Next time you see Eric, ask him about it. I think he remembers more because I don't think he got into the brownies. And we didn't know, like no way, shape, or form. I don't like drinking, let alone doing any kind of drugs.
Sure.
I mean, if you do, you do. You don't, you don't. But I don't remember anything, and we still think that they were kind of municipal use for glaucoma. But yeah, it was bad. My favorite.
Dude,
And
there's got to be like the flip side of that is whoever made those brownies, like, where the fuck did my brownies all go? Dude, for real, right? Well, that's the other thing is maybe they thought they did it themselves.
Them things were weak. I don't even remember it.
Oh my freaking god!
It's bad though because there's so many Dauber stories I could tell you that you laugh.
Oh yeah.
There's some that I probably shouldn't say, but I'll say there's a guy that had relations with somebody at a convention. He sent them a State Department letter in the mail certified that they should go get checked for every STD known to man.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I won't mention the person's name, but yes.
Oh man, and that's what the fire service is about. That's what it's missing, and I think that is where your area has it. Is I've been to, I think it was convention for your county. One time we were there. It was up in Oh no, it was only a couple of whatever fire station where the station's it's on the corner and the garage doors like cattywampus to the building or whatever the case is.
It was in Hope. They run yellow
Yeah.
and black trucks.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Hope. Yeah, Barnesboro.
So
Hope.
and I've been to I think it was, I don't know what the other one is that would have. It might have been no, you guys are Cambridge. It might have been Blair County. I don't remember. I've been to just a couple of different little conventions, but
You might have went to. There's Huntington. Huntington has a convention. Indiana,
maybe.
yes, like Saxton area, they have conventions, and then we have
Yeah.
the big Central District, which is like the whole central of the state.
That's so
Uh,
cool.
yeah, that's where I met my wife. That's where me and my
I mean,
wife met.
yeah,
It's
dude. I mean, it's
yeah,
we used to do musters up here years ago. It was the same concept where it was so Battle of the Barrel for you guys was called water polo for us. It's the same thing. It's a barrel on a cable, and you have to use the hose streams to push, and it's the proverbial push of war type thing.
yeah,
And
yeah.
we do like the midnight alarms and the and it's except we would do it because correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you guys do like it's one event each night throughout the week or something like
Yeah.
that?
Yep.
So we do it. It's just one, say like it's a weekend day, so Saturday or Sunday, and it's just all of the events throughout the entire day, and then you're done.
Oh,
But
that's kind of cool though.
you know what? I kind of like the nighttime one though, because it's, let's say, it gives everybody a chance to recoup and recover, and then it almost lets the shit talk stir a little bit more. So it's like, all right, we're gonna, 71 got us this week. We're gonna, or, last night we're gonna kick their ass at whatever it is, and then you don't, and so, or it gives time for that, the trash talk back and forth, and it's, I mean, our agency won. I mean, we've won a ton of awards, in the region, and they're nowhere. I mean, we don't have musters anymore. I think the last time we went to a muster, it was hosted by a town about 45 minutes away from us. And we were only there because we happen to have a semi-active muster page on Facebook, and they were looking for information on how we did ours. And I was like, oh, we'll come up and we'll help you. But it ended up being, it was like 8, agency departments. And then there was like a junior department, fire explorers program. So we sort of, each department that was there we had enough, but not quite enough. So we sort of, farmed out each other. So like I helped the explorers on, during one of the events, and then they helped us on another one, and it was just, but it's all for the camaraderie and the good times, having fun, talking shit, but also just having a really fun time. And that's, I think, what the fire service needs to bring back, honestly.
Yeah, like ours has got like they lost that. I think it's like we won, so you guys suck. Okay, you just burned down a whole block. Like, what I mean,
right?
I'm not saying that's the case, but I'm a competitive spirit. I always want to win.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
But there was times like I was telling guys, like the hell with you. You're not good. Like we're good. You're not. And that was like I was immature.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I like the battle of the barrel guys. The guys that are really good, you show them respect. Like you shake their hand. Good battle. There's no. They'll beat your ass. Like on the street, they'll beat you. But there's like a really good respect with that. And then I don't know. I've been kind of out of it because I was on night shift, so I couldn't go all the time.
Yeah, it kind of screws over. Yeah. Yep.
But like there's things we're good at. Like we're good at bowling. We're good at golf. They do that. They do. We used to be decent at softball, but no, we don't. But they do hose pull, which is 1 3/4 down. You connect it, get water. The pumping contest is what we used to love to do.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the one. Like we've won it a couple times, but now we're getting old and our knees hurt, and they change. So
as we get older, we realize, listen, if I screw myself up tonight, I'm gonna hurt tomorrow at work. So I'm not sure about really going into this as much as I should.
But like a lot of the new generations bringing cool things back. Like they're doing beer chugging competition, but it's just the one.
All right.
Like they time you, like we're drinking all night. And I think that's cool that they're doing like the old school ways.
Yeah, sure.
They do a mustache competition.
Yep.
One of
That's
our
how I got this one, dude. I started in November, and I was like, fuck it, I guess we're gonna keep it. So here she sits.
I'd love to be able to do it. My wife always says I look like a pedophile, so I don't even want to try it. I do look weird with a mustache, but no. In all honesty, though, it is really good camaraderie. You find some of your best friends there.
Right.
Some of my best friends are from different departments in different counties, and I met at convention.
Right.
And that's the good part about it. You find your true brothers, and then you find guys that are just there to swing around and drink beer.
Oh yeah, yep. And it's you'll get that everywhere, but I think, like I said, it's working because I mean, how many active members do you guys have right now?
30. We're around 30.
Damn, so actually that's pretty similar to us. We're like 31, 32. We just took on two brand new people that have no fire service experience, which I got to tell you is so fun because they don't come to us with a chip on their shoulder, and they're so eager to learn that if you allow it to be, it's infectious as hell, because it's like, oh my God, I remember what my first day was like. And it brings you back a little bit. I mean, I've gotten more excitement out of seeing new guys, because it's like, man, I remember how excited they were and how, much this and how much that. And, because you can get jaded from this. Like you said, we see shit we really shouldn't see. And, we lose really good friends sometimes because of our exposure to the elements and stuff. And, but I love it. So, the new age leadership, we kind of mentioned that at the very beginning when I was giving the intro to you and stuff like that. So, what does that look like for you, and how does it kind of contrast to the old school leadership styles?
I do random stuff. My way of leading is like making sure that everybody is learning, knowing what's going on, and having a lot of communication. After calls, hey, this is what I seen good, this is what I seen bad. Let's take care of it. There's days that I do get a little screamy, but not very often. There's days that I go over the edge, but just like reward system. Somebody cuts somebody out of a car, I give them a Florida State tomahawk, and they put it on their helmet.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
So we haven't really had a trap recently, so we haven't really handed them out. But just random. Just random conversations.
Yeah, no, I love it, dude.
We have one of our junior members who's a female. It took me a while to try to interact with her, but now I'm always looking for insight, and she'll shoot me a text like, "Hey, I'm going to work out." Okay, I try to work out a little bit, but more than I used to.
Sure.
There's some people that follow, some that don't. But the new age leadership, I can't just do it because I said so, or I'm the fire chief or assistant chief or captain. Do it. Hey, be more communication. Why are you doing it? Vent that. Why? Because we need to get all that gas out. And back in the day, some of the guys would just be like, do it because I said so. I'm the chief.
Dude, amen. Yeah. Do you know who I am? Yeah. And they point at their collar. It's like, yeah, it's some asshole that can wear bugles on his chest. That's about it.
I mean, some of the learning, back in the day, they didn't teach you how to be a leader. It was like, you're the fire chief. Okay. Now there's good courses, even online. One of our past chiefs, my first chief, he has a command leadership. He teaches leadership in the corporate world compared to the fire world, and kind of splitting them in together.
Yeah.
And we did a 4-weekend course with him, and I learned a lot there. Some things that was known, I would say. There were some things that I knew or you should have known, but then there's some things you didn't look at. He did what is your reaction to an action? It was event plus what was it? Reaction equals what? And like anytime that you have
Okay.
action, the reaction is going to cause what? It was
I
like
like it. Yeah.
E plus M equals O or E O M. I don't know. It was something like that.
That's awesome.
But it was
Hey, I mean,
really
if it's stuck as far as how you portrayed it and work more forward as a leader, that's all that matters. Again, I'm a firm advocate of the belief of if it's only stupid if it doesn't work. So if it works, it ain't stupid.
it.
No, that's good shit.
I think a lot of like leaders, 90s, 80s, there was a lot of screaming, a lot of reaction.
Yes.
You don't like what I say, you're an asshole. And
Yeah,
now,
chest thumpers.
yeah, we're trying to like calm it down. And it's like I've seen it since we've taken that class. There's more of like a deep breath, take that tactical pause, see what you're thinking of, and going from there. Not reacting with my ego, react, let's find the root
Yeah.
cause we're trying to fight about. And there's a million different ways you can lead, but as long as you have the right intent of the organization or your department or your goal, you can be a good leader. I don't per se say I'm a good leader. I think I've learned good leadership skills. There's a lot.
Sure.
There's a lot to it. There's things that I'm not good at. I'm not really good at taking charge. If like shit's going, I'm not good at taking charge.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Try to let people do their thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
There's some things that I think we all should learn, that we could all learn. But I think if I look at my weaknesses, I'll grow. That's what I'm trying to do.
Nice.
Captain, you're still a leader. You can be a leader standing as a black hat, but
yeah,
you need to try to develop the guys behind you, take your position. Come on, take it. I want to drive.
Yeah, please. Yeah, for real. Would one of you assholes take this so I can just I just want to run the pump.
Yeah, we got a couple good guys coming up the pipe. I hope they get some good experience. And
succession planning is tough. It's super hard because it especially in our realm of, let's just say we'll take an exclusively full-time department. It's pretty easy to figure out succession planning. Usually, your senior man becomes your lieutenant, and then that lieutenant becomes the captain, and so on and so forth. And then, over the course of time, the captains move up to either battalions or deputies. However it's structured, it doesn't, that's not, it's germane to the point. And then it's just a battle of who's going to become the chief, who's the assistant, and then that genre or generation of guys all retires, and then it's secular. So it keeps coming back. But in our realm, in the combination or in the exclusively volunteer side, dude, it could be one of those. Let's just say you were on third shift for a super long time, and you could have very easily been like, you know what, man, this is way too much for me to try to balance, third shift, have some semblance of a natural life with my family. I don't have time for the firehouse. And all of a sudden people that were like, oh, Greg's going to be here forever. All of a sudden Greg's gone. So you can't really do it. You can't do a good exclusive succession plan session or, succession plan rather.
Yeah.
In the volunteer side, because you just truly don't know. Now, that is not me, condoning the action of doing absolutely nothing, because honestly, it makes it harder for us because we should be doing more as far as making it so that anybody can be the next guy up, whether it be, who's say a lieutenant typically would be the next captain, but that doesn't mean it all the time. And, there's a lot to be said about that. And I think you're the new age leadership style with, answering the why questions, because that's where I think a lot of the old heads really fall and eat shit, which is sometimes fun to watch because that's a little bit of, humble pie for them, but they don't know how to answer the why, because we've always done it that way, kid. It's like, well, good. Why do we do it that way all the time? Yeah. Must you always ask questions? It's like, yep. I want to know why we always do it that way. Or, have we ever thought about, instead of, for us, we do not have an engine one. We have an engine 2 and engine 3, rescue 1, and then a tanker 1. Those are our big pieces. We just don't have an engine 1. Well, why don't we have an engine 1? Nobody could ever really answer the question other than, well, when we got rid of the old engine 1 with the tanker, we never reassigned it. I'm like, well, why didn't we reassign it? And then I go, well, wait, when we got a new engine, a new engine 3, why all of a sudden, do we, we did with our rescue we just got. So we had the old rescue for a little bit, and then we got the new rescue. So we're trying, the email chain of communications, talking about the rescue was the hardest probably week and a half when both were in-house, because I'm like, what the fuck rescue were we talking about?
Yeah.
Why didn't we jump it to, to rescue 2 or rescue 3? And then you leave that, because I mean, we're only getting trucks every 20 years. So in 100 years, you're only ever going to maybe see up to rescue 5. What is the difference? What does it really matter? But again, a lot of people never could answer that question because we've always done it that way. And I'm like, that is this. And I remember when I was a younger lieutenant, I dude, it was awesome because I was punchy that night during an officers meeting. I'm like, that is the fucking dumbest thing I've ever heard. This, because we've always done it that way. Is it because you're incompetent? I went the step farther than I should have gone was when I said, is it because we're incompetent at what we do? And that was a little much. That was a little aggressive, but my point was made. It's one of those things that you just kind of learn. You're like, God damn, like probably shouldn't have said that in hindsight.
What was the reaction to that?
It went over better. Probably just about as good as a lead fart in church, right? Yeah. It was, that was the dumb young, the stupid young whippersnapper who didn't know. And over time, I had to eat some crow, and there's no doubt in my mind that, as vacancies above where I was at opened up, they were filled with others because it was just easier for them to, I was far more outspoken, but now we're getting a solid group of officers who really have their voice. We have a lieutenant who really knows employment labor laws. And I'll never forget, it was a few years ago now. He's like, so these trainings that you say that we have to take that are mandatory, like, bloodborne pathogen or blah, blah, blah. He goes, how are we getting paid for this if we're doing the work on our computers at home? And the management at the time was dumbfounded. They're like, what do you mean? How are we paying you? We're not paying you. And he's like, you're making me do it. So it's a condition of employment. Therefore, oh, well, you're not an employee, but we are employees because you pay us for our time. And then, of course, that opened up Pandora's box because we used to pay our guys yearly, a yearly stipend. But it wasn't like say $1,000 a year stipend. It would be, I could, so for hours that I would work toward a call, it would be one lump sum paid in December. Well, if you're an hourly paid person, you have to be paid within so many days of actually performing that work. Well, so in theory, we're going up to almost 12 months. Like for your calls in January, you're not getting paid until the end of December. Yeah. So it was unique because when he brought that up, they're like, well, nobody's complained about it yet. And then even if they were to complain, we ain't changing it. I'm like, I might not want it. It's
so the state gets
it. Yeah, it's, and long story short, we're finally at where we get paid every other week. Both the call side and the fire, full-time was easy for me because I was paid every other week anyways, but now our call members get paid. And it was so funny because everybody was complaining like, oh my God, we like the big check in December and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, start a savings account and just have it direct deposited, pretend like you don't even get it. And what's going to be really neat is you'll probably get more this or, next year than you did this because you're going to earn a little bit of savings, not much, but you might earn, some interest on the savings. Yeah. Well, come to find out because we're actually, we're taxed lower because it's, it's less per week. They're actually taking home more now. Paycheck over paycheck versus the big, and I'm like, guys, you can't be afraid of change. Like so deathly afraid of change. We will, blatantly say, we know we're breaking the law. And unless the state comes at us, we're not changing a thing. And I'm like, oh, and thankfully all of the individuals that had said that have 100% left. They're no longer part of our, organization. But I'm like, the audacity of saying that, I'm like, you guys have got to be kidding me. Like, we acknowledge a problem. We're going to leave it alone.
Wait, what'd you say? You acknowledge a problem, what?
Acknowledge the problem, but they're going to leave it alone. Like, just pretend like it, acknowledge, but ignore.
Yeah. And that's a big thing in the fire service. Like we do more bitching than we do trying to solve the problem. You know, we'll bitch about the problem
Yes.
all day long. We're just
Right.
not solving it.
Yeah. What are we really getting done here?
Yeah, and that's the crappy part. I mean, I'm bad for it too, but I always like whenever you find you got a problem. It's like, hey, we can figure out a solution. Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we'll never be able to figure that out. We've been, doing this for
It's
a long.
always been this way, kid.
Yeah, we don't have many in our department that say that. Like you don't hear.
Thank God.
A lot of our guys are very progressive. I mean, our oldest member, I don't think I've ever heard him say that's the way we did it back in the '60s.
That's a good thing. Yeah. Yep.
He's our like live-in driver. I've learned
That's
so
awesome. Yep.
much from him, especially in the front seat. I always get his input. Well, not so much anymore because now he's just too busy like trying to pay attention to the road. But I'd always, hey, what's up? What am I thinking? 15 years sitting up front with him, I've learned so much.
Yeah.
He and he don't get into the politics. Like he doesn't
those are the best. Yeah. I'm just here because I like to drive and as I want to help the residents. Those are the best. And it's almost impossible to find somebody who 100%, because everybody's always going to have a gripe.
Yeah.
And the hard part, that's what I learned for me, the hard part as an officer was going from you can piss and moan to anybody as a firefighter, but once you become an officer, it's like, you got to be careful who you complain about, because if you do, again, if the chief does something and, as a lieutenant, I say something to the members that I'm responsible for about it and how I feel that the chief fucked up. Now they're going to have that predisposed notion of either the chief and I don't get along, or that they're going to take my thought process of that's how the chief is always like it. So they're never going to respect the chief. So now it's like, oh man, it's tough. It can be really, really hard.
You got to bitch up. You can't bitch down.
Yes.
We feel
the hardest thing.
Yeah. We fall into traps though. I mean, especially like if you're trying to do what's best for the organization, you catch wind of something, then you're trying to investigate it yourself and then bring it up to, your chief or president. And then, you're going to have an opinion on it. Sometimes you just got to keep your mouth shut,
Amen, dude.
Yeah. I'm really bad with it though, because my mouth always wants to go.
For real, I feel you.
Like if there's drama arising in the fire hall, I kind of distance myself. I don't go down as much. The fire whistle blows, I'll go. But as soon as we're done, I'll pack everything up, make sure everything's washed, and then I go to my car. I got to go. It just try to eliminate it. If you open yourself up to the drama, you're just making it bigger. So
we only have so much time in this, on this, crazy thing they call life. I've learned, dude, I've become so damn selfish with my time. It's ridiculous how bad it is. It's so bad to the point where if it's not like a what's in it for me, I'm not going to do it type thing, but it's am I going to lose any value to my life, or is my time going to be better served somewhere else? And if the answer is yes, then I'm not doing it. It's weird. It's, losing a few, guys through the fire service with cancer and stuff like you had and whatnot. I'm like, dude, at this point, we don't know when our final whistle is going to toll.
Yeah.
I'm not wasting my time on shit that's going to consume me and live rent free in my head. So it ain't going to take up a place to live. So, but it's hard. It's really hard because there's sometimes I'm like, oh man, like
it's because we care about the organization or care about the fire service,
Yeah. Yep.
So did Jin's guys do anything progressive for like the cancer? Jin's guys.
So we have been through, oh shit, dude, probably 3-4 years ago, both of our assistant chiefs fell ill with different cancers, one with pancreatic and one with metastatic melanoma at the same time. Like, no joke. It was one during one of our meetings. Usually typically how we do it is we have trainings or meetings, and at the end we'll all recongregate, and then the chief gives his would give his hot wash of where we're at with the department, blah blah blah, and then we go around the room by rank and file.
Yeah.
So we start at the assistant chiefs, and the first one goes and breaks the news, and the second one goes, well, this is going to be really weird because I have to share the same information.
Oh shit.
And of course, at first we're like, why are you repeating what he just said? And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, he's talking about a different cancer. And I'm like, so we had two guys. So long story short, Dave, he ended up passing from pancreatic during COVID, actually, is when he passed. So it was almost 6 years ago now. But so we ended up, we're super proactive. Long story short, we do gross decon on scene. Our shit gets tossed in bags, and then it gets brought back to the firehouse in the back of our pickup. That and then we'll throw it through the extractor. We'll wash it. We track serial numbers for when it gets washed, what the call was. Just in the event that over the course of time they're like, wait, man, they had that fire in Milford, and the Brookline boys were there, and 5 guys from Milford have got it. Let's check out the the medical records of these 5 guys. And there's also the I'll have to put the link in when the video gets edited, but there's the national registry that every firefighter, whether it be career or volunteer, can get on, that actually tracks calls we've been on and stuff like that, so that if we ever fall sick to it, we're already kind of in this national database. So it's something that everybody should honestly do. And then we're good about it, but we're not great. And we just our best wheelman actually just passed from bone, pancreas, and liver cancer. He found out in, I believe, December or January. We found out on a Monday night. By Friday, he was gone.
So we bought Inotex gear recently.
Okay. Yeah.
We have the cancer barriers, and I was really against it because I was like, oh, they're just, they're trying to sell it, they're,
Sure. Right.
First fire I went into, and I went back home and went to go take a shower. I had shorts. What do you do when you go in a fire and you have shorts?
Right.
What's going on with your legs? They're, black is cool. No black at all.
No,
and I was like,
freaking way, huh?
Yeah. They have, it's a pain in the ass to put over your boot. I will say that. It's a pain. Yep. It's a little bit. But we went through the motions, and we were like, you know what? This actually ain't a bad deal. Hopefully this doesn't void any warranties. I took it through the flashover simulator, same deal. You know what I mean? Like, it was
no shit. Okay, yeah.
Real good stuff. They have the cancer barrier hoods, really good. You don't get the black behind your, neck,
Yeah.
and that's where like your carcinogens are coming from, supposedly. But then we have PFAS. Our gear has PFAS in it. So, we've been. Jimmy's been very proactive with it. Our chief,
good, yeah,
really proactive with it. Whenever I was assistant chief, we also were documenting a lot because we wanted to get turnout gear as well. So we were documenting. We have old gear. This is how much we're getting used. Documentation's key. We found that out with Dauber. We had to have documentation. And we don't really decon yet, but it's in the works. Like, we're talking of like how we're going to do it. I did an extractor on our seats, our old E1.
Oh yeah, yep.
Oh my! You should have seen them seats.
I was gonna say, I can only imagine how horrid that probably looked.
Yeah, and it's bad. Our generation's kind of screwed. You know what I mean? We're
yes.
But my daughter's generation, the generation that's just started, we can help them some way, somehow.
Yes.
Hopefully. I know if we go exterior mode for everything, we're never going to have firemen volunteer side in the next 5 years. What kind of adrenaline are you getting, exterior?
Right.
But I don't know. We got to figure something out. I don't know if the Senate could put a bill, because a lot of it's coming from the shit they're making,
Yes.
Synthetics. It'll never happen. It sounds good, me and you talking about it. But, how many are dying of cancer? It's an epidemic in itself, I can.
Yeah.
I can name 5 right now that probably happened in the last 5 years. And that's coming.
Yeah. And it's, you guys are at a disadvantage, honestly, because I mean, if you're raising funds for everything that you need. For us, we have our association that is, part of our nonprofit, funding mechanism to get the next best stuff. So the town gives us our equipment, and then we can, we'll raise funds for whether it be, better thermal imaging cameras or personal ticks or, shit, like that's funny. My pager just went off too. It's the ambulance. um, but and so we use Globe, and they went with that free FOSS gear.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I also still am. I don't want to say I'm skeptical. I believe that it's better than it was, but there's inherently going to have to be something of a forever chemical on it for its water repelling features. And so, like, I get it. We're getting somewhere, and I'm not an anti new person for anything, but sometimes I'm like, man, is it, because the fire service is a very trendy service. If it's the latest and greatest, everybody's got to get it. Yeah. And then there's no, the trust but verify has never really been part of our forte in any corner of the fire service. Everybody's like, oh, we got to do that. And it's like, just double check that. Yeah. There are some newfangled, nozzles and stuff. And I jumped right on it at first too. And then after a while, I'm like,
the head nozzle.
I'm like, let's do a little bit of research. Cause I'm thinking, at first I get the concept of the water application, and where they lost me was, we have on our first do piece, we have a CAFS on it. So we have the compressed air foam system. Yeah. We don't really use it because, we are we're rural water. So we don't have hydrants or anything like that. So we have a lot of dirt and stuff like that in ours. But yeah, the thing with they're selling this nozzle as it's perfect for the CAFS. And I'm like, it's not. We've tried it. The bubbles you need from a CAFS system need to basically go from the discharge side of the pump all the way through the hose and out the nozzle without anything disrupting its flow. And, I mean, inherently how the whole thing works, there's a backflow, turbo on it. So there's a little bit of bubble intrusion, and then the nozzle itself has bubble intrusion because there's the vortex inside. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like don't. It's one of those, I'm like, we're so desperate to be flashy, now we're literally lying. And I'm like, that's a line of horse shit. So there are certain things. So I mean, for anybody out there listening and watching, just, man, trust but verify, guys, because if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is just about too good to be true.
I won't say what company or what nozzle or what hose, but our fire chief and a couple of our guys found out there was a lot of bullshit. They went out, tested it, told them, like, yeah, we're not buying it. This is a gimmick. What the hell's that guy's name? The big guy that was in Chris Farley. What did Chris Farley say in Tommy Boy? You can put your
you can put your head up a bull's ass to get a good look at the T-bone, but wouldn't you want to take the butcher's word for it or something like that?
Yes, exactly. And every time like that new flashy thing comes out, I think of that. I'm like, yeah, come on, the SAM pump system that they're coming out with. Did you see that yet?
Oh, is that the one where it's all like a digital screen on the side of the engine? Like, yeah. No, the concept. So where I saw it on one, it was neat. Where in the thought process of if you're a ground pounder on the pump, so you're not a top mounter or whatever the case is, you can hit it from either side of the truck. Love the idea. We're on to something with that, but I'm like, we got to do something with that. There's how, bulletproof is it? How waterproof is it if you're outside in the pouring rain? Or, I mean, how many times have we completely iced over the side of a truck because we're using the deck gun in the middle of December and it's frozen? So where are we at with, and again, trust but verify, like, just holy freaking Christ.
That's how I was with the Innotex. I was kind of like, yeah, okay, you can tell us whatever you want. But the first time we used it, I was 100%. Okay, they're not bullshitting it.
That's awesome. No, that's really good.
I was calling it DG gear. I'm like, dude, I don't want this Walmart DG gear. No, like, give me morning pride. Give me something good.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's held up. It held up real good. I think I'm like 7 years in, and it still looks
Shit.
relatively new.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
No, that's
relatively new.
awesome.
But no, I mean, yeah, we've been really looking at how we can prevent cancer. I tell guys
Mm.
like at meetings, hey, go get checked. Early preventions. One like
Yes.
I know we
Yeah, for
hate
real.
blood. Go get blood work. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Um,
get your numbers and even at that, they're like, well, with Dave who just passed from us, he had just had his department by because we go biannually.
yeah.
It's a department requirement. He had just recently had his physical done, and no numbers were even caught. Now, come
Uh,
to find out, with pancreatic cancer, certain blood tests don't pick up on higher levels of certain things. I'm like, that sucks. Because now we sit back and we think we're doing a really good job by doing the physical. And I'm not, I'm not poo-pooing because I think we still need to do them. But I'm like, man, we need to even increase and make those more robust. Like, and you're right, dude. If something feels off, go get checked.
yeah.
If it's I'll use Dave because we just laid him to rest on Sunday.
Oh, shit.
He felt a pain in his side. He thought it was an ulcer. He's like, oh, it must be an ulcer. I've had him before, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
And then eventually it was so bad. He's like, I gotta go get checked. And they're like, yeah, so you have blah, blah, blah. They ran some more tests and like, yeah, so on top of having that, you have this too. And it's looking like, and then they start giving him time frames. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me.
Yeah.
Dave was a good guy. He was the very first one to call when I went through my divorce. And if it wasn't for him and his wife, they hooked me up with, plates and silverware and houseware and furniture. And I mean, they got me on my feet during my divorce. So, I mean, I owe him. I owe him for, forever, a debt I'll never be able to repay type thing. And it's crazy. It's crazy.
We lost one last week too. 2 weeks ago. Ego, he's been in and out of the fire service forever, but he's a local member of our department. And
Yep.
he died of cancer. I think it was 2 weeks ago.
God damn. Yeah.
It's shitty, man. It's killing us. I honestly, I feel like that's probably what I'm going to end up going up. You know what I mean?
Oh
The
yeah.
way
No, I feel you. Yeah.
Joke about it. That's probably the way I'm going to go. Hopefully, it's in
Yeah.
my sleep, but
Dude, for real. No, 100%.
yeah, it's shitty.
Awesome, dude. Well, listen, I've had you for almost an hour and 45 now. We've been recording, no joke.
That's all right.
It fucking flies.
Yeah.
So I'll ask the final question that we ask everybody before we close the episode. It's some people it's a little harder. I think for you it won't be too terribly bad. So somebody walks into your station today and they tell you, Cap, I want to become an officer. What is your unadulterated and raw piece of advice for that person?
Do you want to be an officer or a leader?
Uh,
No, well, if they say, I would ask,
speaking leader.
yeah, do you want to be an officer or a leader? If they tell me they want to be an officer, I'm going to tell them, go take all your classes, treat people with respect, come back, we'll talk later. And whenever he comes back, I'm like, all right, now tell me you want to be a leader. You want to be a leader? Start reading, start learning, treat people with respect, know the job. Show up, don't bitch, see where you go from there.
Smooth.
I honestly, I don't. I think there's leaders and there's guys that want to be officers.
Yep.
Honestly,
Yep.
I want to lead guys, but I don't want to be an officer. I just want to be a leader.
Yes. No, I feel you. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want all the bullshit behind it. I don't want to do reports all the time. I just want to fight fire.
For real. Let me just put water on fire, assholes.
Yeah, that's all I want to do. Cut cars apart. I like that too. But
Yeah.
no, in all honesty, we have a guy he's going to be an officer someday. And I tell him, dude, just learn the job, enjoy it, have fun with it. Because as soon as you become an officer, it's not as fun as it usually is.
Don't
Rush
it.
No, not at all. I was lucky. I was 25 or 26 when I became an officer, and I was cool with that. I had a lot of fun before that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You learn a lot, But if you do
it's
it,
eye opening.
yeah,
Awesome, dude.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, this was fun. I
I
could probably,
appreciate it.
yeah, we
No,
could
this.
bullshit all night. I have a feeling we could bullshit all night.
Oh
Um,
yeah, no, we'll have to get together the next time I'm down there.
yeah, dude, honestly.
I think I've not set any dates, but Geesey Town's been tickling on getting me down for what I was going to be doing at Westmoreland. So I'm probably going to be maybe November time, roughly. We're looking. So
Are you going to do a
certainly.
class?
So yeah, I was going to do a starving the bottom feeders class. It was going to be a whole 8-hour class, and they just didn't get enough. They didn't sell enough tickets for the day, so we had to postpone indefinitely. But we'll get it. It was going to be at West. So it was going to be at Westmoreland Community College.
Yeah.
It was last weekend, weekend before. We had to back out of Westmoreland, but in talking to Geesey Town boys the other day, they're like, "What's it going to take?" And I'm like, "A fucking smile on your face and a slice of pizza. I really don't care." Like, yeah. So, but yeah, it's a good time. I love getting on stage and kind of talking to people, and I love smaller events where. If people have a question, they can raise their hand right then and there instead of being like, "Oh, I have a question, but there's 1,000 people in the audience and I don't know if my question will ever get answered." And I don't want to sound like an idiot in front of people. And I'm like, dude, you sound like more of an idiot by not asking the question. So just ask the question. Right. So
if you do, let me know. I'd like to just get
dude.
in, just to sit back and listen.
Hell yeah, buddy. Awesome, dude. Well, thanks again, man. Listen, I'll sign off the show, but, and then while it uploads, we'll hang tight. But yeah, so listen, thanks again. Yeah. Everybody out there, thank you so much for spending time with Greg and I tonight on The Passionate Leader. If something tonight hit home, don't just sit on it, share it. Follow The Passionate Leader across all platforms and pull up a chair every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TikTok, where leadership meets the kitchen table and real talk drives real change. If you want a deeper conversation and first access to exclusive offers, join us on Patreon and step into the inner circle. And importantly, as somebody once told me, be the kind of leader someone else is praying for, the leader you needed when you first joined the fire service. And no matter what comes your way, remember this: lead with passion, serve with humility, and leave no room for bottom feeders. Until we see each other again, guys, stay safe.